Hi, this is Jim from the Stovetop Roasting Vlog, and I wanted to show you one of my latest roasts for Ethiopian Yirgacheffe, which I like to say like the Swedish chef Yirgacheffe. What you'll see is the first steps, what it looks like inside the roasting chamber, and some of the phases that it goes through, and I'll talk about what's going on. And then at the end, there's a fairly long dechaffing video where I ramble on just about like I'm doing now. Well, here it goes without any further ado. Alright everybody, I wanted to show you the getup that I use. I use a Whirly Pop popcorn popper. That's just a stovetop popcorn popper that I got off Amazon. Yay, Prime, free shipping. And the thermometer, also I got from Amazon. The difference in the thermometer is that it will get up to temperature relatively quickly. You have to be careful when you choose a thermometer because your thermometer has to be fast enough to keep up with the temperature in the roasting chamber. And in this picture you can see the hole that I drilled in the top of the Whirly Pop in order to fit my thermometer in there. The hole is actually a little bit bigger than I wanted it to be, but it works because that means I can turn the thermometer so I can see it perfectly every time. Alright, you can see how I've mounted the thermometer to the Whirly Pop lid. I used a flat washer and a collar washer, which has a little screw in it that'll help attach it to the lid. It just sits right on top. I did try to find a nut that would be threaded on there, but that's a strange threading, and I couldn't find a nut that would thread there, which is okay because see how it's popped right above the little wooden knob for the lid of the roaster. So it all worked out okay, and it can turn into any direction so I can see it. And here's a picture of the collar with the little hex screw. That's how I secured it. Okay, this is what it looks like when it's actually inside the chamber and I'm roasting. This is very early in the roasting, probably just a couple of minutes in. You can see the Whirly Pop is stirring around the beans pretty good. You can hear them making their shush noise. The kind of thermometer I use is a Palmer, and it's really nice because it gets up to speed quickly enough. But what you really heard was the first crack. That's a big pop sound. Here's a picture of what the beans look like right after the first crack. It kind of sounds a little bit like popcorn popping at this stage. It's fairly loud and fairly deep. In a little bit we'll see what it sounds like when it actually cracks for the second time. Here it is cracking for the second time. I'll be quiet now so you can hear it. It's very delicate. Alright, so I'm going to dechaff it now, and now I'm going to start babbling in that video, so here you go. You can really hear it cracking. The second crack happens almost all the way through dechaffing. That sound you hear is me blowing the chaff off the top of the beans, the big stuff that floats to the top. If you listen really carefully, you can still hear it in the second crack there. It's still kind of roasting inside. Alright, so I'm just going to speed this up because I don't think you want to watch 4 minutes of me actually just dechaffing coffee beans. And then I'm going to describe some of the stuff that happens during the roast after I do the dechaffing parts.
Alright, these are a light roast. Just gonna keep shaking them for a couple minutes to get the chaff off of them. I've been doing this for a couple minutes now, and occasionally blowing off all the chaff. doesn't get crushed enough to go through the little holes in the strainer. Once you're chaffed, every once in a while you gotta pull one off because they're tenacious. Once you get rid of all the chaff, because you don't want to eat, you don't want to drink the chaff. Why should you grind up the chaff to drink it? Because it's not really that tasty. Okay, and then you get a nice light roast. This is a light city roast. This is Ethiopian Yirgacheffe, which I like to make it sound like I'm talking like the Swedish chef when I say Yirgacheffe. I find that the Ethiopian Yirgacheffe has a lot of chaff on it, not as much with the other coffees that I've roasted. Some of the Indian coffees had a lot of chaff on them too. But the Ethiopian chaff is all very big. I don't know why, or at least the Yirgacheffe chaff is. So that's it. That's a roast. That's a really light roast even for me. Let's see if you can see that in the sunlight. That's like I said, that's quite a light roast even for me. But I'm liking the light roasts. Oh, there's another piece of chaff I missed. See, they're tenacious. See, you need to get rid of that whole thing off of there. There we go. So now the chaff can come off. It's okay if a couple of them break, because they're popping anyway. I don't know if you can see any of the little cracks that are in them. Sometimes they pop little divots out of themselves. But okay. Well, I've been babbling for 4 minutes now. I'll stop talking and get to dechaffing. Thank you.
Okay, the final piece of this segment, I'm going to do the different rigs I've got set up. This is my Bodum and my Bunn coffee makers. And I'm going to make French press today, so I ground the coffee fairly coarsely. I have a blade grinder, so all you coffee bigots out there can yell at me about that. And here's the coffee inside the Bodum. No idea why I showed you this. Everybody knows what coffee looks like inside of a French press. All right, here's the coffee as it's brewing. That brown foamy stuff at the top is called bloom, and it comes because there's still some CO2 left in the beans after I roasted them and haven't let them set long enough. It takes about a week for that to go away. Thanks for watching the Stovetop Roasting Vlog video. It's been a lot of fun making this video and show you all what my rig looks like and my brewing rigs and all this cool stuff that I've been doing over the last few months. I'm just getting started at this and it's an awful lot of fun. So you can go ahead and see my blog at tablegamer.com. That's the Stovetop Roasting blog. And I'm also on the Facebooks under Jim Callahan if you want to go out there and like me and watch all my postings as they go through Facebook. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day. And here's a picture of my dog Sky. She's a cutie.